All right, guys, so welcome to this video. So I'm gonna go in depth, but also make it simple for you guys to understand. If I had to build my dream physique again, this is what I would do differently, okay? Yes, you can chat GBT a lot of this stuff, but even when you do that, there is such little things that you need to pay attention to that really make the biggest difference when it comes to fitness, building your physique, your goals, diet, all that. There's just stuff that you have to go through that I already went through for you guys. All the mistakes, all the things I've learned over the past 5 or 6 years of me lifting. And I've done bulking stages, dirty bulking, cutting, like everything you can think of as a gym rat. I did that shit for you guys. So now I'm gonna put it all into one video and go into depth about each pillar and really just give you guys all the information I can possible so that way you guys don't have to go through what I went through and get the best progress, okay? So this picture right here of me on the left, this was during one of my dirty bulks. I've done a lot of dirty bulks, and I'm gonna go into why you shouldn't dirty bulk at all in the diet section. And then that's me currently right now. I'm like literally in the best shape of my life right now. I'm still cutting down, so there's still more progress to be made, which I'm happy about. And then this picture on the right here is when I first started. When I first started, I was 145, 150 pounds as a junior in high school. Now fast forward 5 or 6 years later, I'm 190 pounds. So about 40 pounds of muscle gained over the years. So I really want to get into this for you guys. So we're going right here. When I was saying earlier, when it comes to fitness and diet in general and overall building up your dream physique, it's actually very simple, which it is. But again, there's just little nuances and little things that if you just tweak a little bit, it makes the biggest difference. Okay. And there's just a lot of gym myths out there, a lot of bullshit videos out there that if you listen to, you waste your time on. So I want to get straight into this for you guys. So coming down here, and this is important too, when you go to implement their advice, when you watch other people's videos and stuff, it never works for you. And because of that, you stop your journey, you lose the motivation, you lose the drive, which I went through when I first started too. Like, don't get me wrong, you're supposed to learn along the journey. That's the whole part of the journey. But there were certain people that I tried reaching out to when I first started, like influencers or fitness coaches. For one, they would never text me back, which was kind of annoying. And two, if they did give me advice, it was just completely wrong. I wasted my time on it. So now I'm going to go over everything that I've learned for you guys. So the first thing that I want to get into, and I call it the main pillars, there's about 4 or 5 of them I want to get deep into up here, is inside the gym. Now, inside the gym refers to your routine, having structure, right? Volume in terms of how many exercises you're doing, the reps, the sets each week, okay? Splits, which goes into routines, training intensity, all that stuff, okay? So the first bullet point I have right here is why low volume can be beneficial, and it is beneficial, and it's going to be beneficial for 99% of you guys watching this, okay? When I first started, I thought you had to be in a gym every single day, okay? I did not have any type of structured routine. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't learn form on anything. I was just simply in the gym every day doing whatever the fuck, okay? You cannot do this. You need a real structured routine, a good split that also works around your schedule, especially if you're an older guy, you're a busy guy in general, you work full time, you have a lot of stuff on your plate. Low volume is the number one way that you're going to get the best progress with the minimal amount of time in the gym, which is really how everyone should be training, regardless if you do have the time or not, okay? So low volume focuses on quality over quantity, better form, higher intensity, reduces the risk of overtraining and injury. And I have a whole recovery section too that I'll get into for you guys too as well. It's a lot easier to track progress, so that way you're not doing junk volume, unmeaningful sets, right? Like I just said, it helps busy people stay consistent without needing 2-hour workouts, and you get better recovery, which means better progress long term. Now, when it comes to low volume, okay, you guys hear me preach about this all the time on my stories and my content. I only do, and all of my clients and a lot of my friends I talk to too that I give advice to, I always tell them 2 sets per exercise. That is all you need. A lot of you guys are taking advice from bodybuilders or watching videos from like the 90s and the 2000s about, steroided up bodybuilders doing 4, 5, 6 sets per exercise. You are a regular person. You are not taking steroids. You cannot recover the way they do, okay? When you take steroids and all this stuff, you can basically do anything and you'll get progress because their recovery is 20 times better than us as naturals, okay? So with a low volume approach, I only do 1 warm-up set per exercise and then 2 main working sets, okay? But with those 2 working sets, you need to train hard, okay? as you can see here on the left, obviously I am strong, and you should be strong as a natural too through progressive overload, which I'll get into in a second too. But you should be training hard. Mechanical tension is the number one thing and the number one driver of muscle and getting stronger, okay? Chasing a pump does not mean shit. Going super duper 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 slow on your exercises does not do shit. You need to learn how to train hard, okay? If you're really like a real beginner in the gym, obviously the first thing you want to focus on is form, control, and then once you're comfortable with that, then start upping the weight and training hard. But you need to be training till failure on every set, if not close to it, okay? If I'm doing a dumbbell curl with 30 pounds, the weight doesn't matter, whatever, but if I'm doing a dumbbell curl and I want to get a rep scheme of like 8 reps, okay? By the 6th to 7th rep, it should be damn near impossible to finish the range of motion in the movement. That's how you need to train. You need to train hard, okay? This is the number one way you're going to see progress, and something that I did not do for the first 2 to 3 years of me training, okay? Did I still get progress? Yes, because newbie gains is a real thing. Your first year or two of lifting is when you grow the fastest, when you grow the most. But if you want to maximize your progress, which is what you're here for, you need to learn how to actually train hard. It's not going to make you bulky. It's not going to make you big like a bodybuilder, okay? If there's any past athletes watching this, it's not going to make you super slow, okay? None of that. Training hard is how you're going to get the best progress. Now, going into here, why sticking to the 6 to 8 rep range is best, okay? You have to understand, when you go higher in reps, it causes more soreness and fatigue. When you have a lot of soreness and fatigue built up, it makes it harder to recover and it slows down your progress by a lot, okay? So anytime you go above that 10 to 12 rep range, you're just making it a lot harder to recover for yourself. Now, does that mean I don't do anything more than 8 reps? No, I still like to have fun a little bit. Sometimes I'll do, a high rep set just for the fuck of it, whatever. But if you stick to a 6 to 8 rep range and train till failure within that rep range, you will get the best progress. You will minimize fatigue and minimize soreness. So that way you can recover a lot fucking better and a lot faster, okay? And why a lower rep range is better too is because with mechanical tension and training hard and gaining muscle, getting stronger, the last 5 reps matter the most towards actually gaining muscle and getting stronger, okay? So by sticking to a 6 to 8 rep range, it's that perfect area of you're able to get strong fast and able to pack on muscle fast and recover the best, okay? Now, going into routines, this is going to depend on person to person, okay? I don't know what you do for work. I don't know what your job is. I don't know how busy you are. Maybe you have kids, family. I don't know your schedule, okay? So these are some common splits that I give my clients and that I have done over the years with the past jobs I've done, whether it's my warehouse job, electrical job, car sales job, and a car wash job. I've done every single split you can think of to, mitigate and work around my schedule when I was working at the time, okay? So 2 days a week, you can do 2 full body days, keep it simple. If you're going 3 days a week, you can do push-pull legs, or you can honestly do 3 full body days. That's still good too. 4 days a week, which is honestly probably the best split for a lot of you guys watching this. Upper, lower, upper, lower. And then 5 days, which is what I do right now. Push-pull legs, upper, lower, okay? Now, one thing I want you guys to understand is to get the best progress, you do not have to be in the gym every single day. You do not have to be in the gym for more than an hour a day on top of that for your workouts, okay? When it comes to your routines, you will get the best progress only going 2 to 5 days a week at max, okay? For most people, I recommend 2 to 4 days because with the extra rest days, you're able to recover better, okay? If you're going to the gym every single day, especially with the routine that you're just going in there doing whatever, you're making it impossible for your body to rest, recover, and this is how you're actually going to get progress and grow, okay? If you're going every single day, you're just holding yourself back, okay? Now, as I was talking about earlier, training intensity, that's like the number one thing I see in the gym. People just don't train hard, and then you wonder why you haven't gotten bigger or gained any muscle or gotten any stronger in the years or months you've been putting in the gym. You should be getting stronger progressively in small increments every couple weeks or every week or so, depending on the movement and everything, right? This is how you're going to see the best progress and the fastest progress, and that's called progressive overload. As I was talking about earlier, if I'm doing dumbbell curls with 30 pounds and I got 8 reps for my upper body day, okay? The next week, when I go to do that same movement, because you should be doing the same exercises every single week with your structured routine that you have, right? The next week, I'm going to try to go for 9 reps, okay? Then the next week after that, I'm going to try to go for 10 reps, okay? Once you get around to that 10 rep range, then you up the weight by 5 to 10 pounds Obviously, depending on what the movement is, right? You're not going to add 10 pounds to a dumbbell side raise because your shoulders are a small muscle. But this is how you are seeing in real time, over time, that you are getting stronger and actually adding on muscle, because you're seeing I'm increasing the reps every week. I'm increasing the weight little by little every week. This is how you're able to see it in real time. And I even track all my lifts in my notes app in my phone. And for my clients, they have a section in their programs where they're literally able to track everything themselves too, which is amazing, okay? So the main things that I want you guys to get from this is get on a structured routine around your schedule, okay? Everyone's different. Everyone's, busy, whatever your schedule is. Find a routine that fits it, okay? You do not have to be in a gym every single day, and your workouts should be an hour at most. Again, 2 sets per exercise. Maybe do 1 warm-up set. Include a dynamic warm-up routine before your workouts too. Just warming up everything, getting a little stretch in with light resistance bands. That way you don't go straight into your workout cold and then you get injured, right? And then just coming down here too, common things that people mess up with in the gym is, no structured program, too much volume, too many exercises, which, again, you don't need that much exercises, I promise you. For my workouts, I literally only do 2 workouts, 2 exercises per muscle group. That's it. That's all you need, okay? Training too light, never pushing close to failure. Ego lifting with bad form. We all have that one guy in the gym that ego lifts the hell out of everything, tries to get everybody's attention, and I don't know how he's not injured yet or in the hospital yet, okay? We all got that one guy in the gym. Again, skipping warm-ups or mobility work, only doing machines, neglecting compound lifts, not tracking any of your workouts, and spending more time on your motherfucking phone rather than actually training. Don't be that guy, bro. Don't be that guy that's on the same machine for a whole hour texting your ex, or you're going up to people in the gym fucking trauma dumping to everybody. Don't be that guy, bro. Especially if you are hogging one of the good machines or the only machines in the gym. Don't be that guy, okay? If you need help, go up to somebody, text me, text somebody. Just don't hog the machines. Everybody, I promise you, as a gym person myself, we hate that shit, okay? So the next thing I want to get into on the right side over here, actually, let me go into here first because it kind of flows into this. Recovery, okay? This is how you're actually going to see the progress, get the physique, and get everything over time. Recovery involves getting good sleep every night, okay? It involves hydration throughout the day, volume, which is what we just went over. If you're doing too much volume, too many exercises, you simply can't recover. But now that you know that, that's kind of out of the picture now. Your diet and everything, which I have a whole diet section that we're going to really go into because that's the most important. And also stress management. So coming down here, you need to be getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. Again, I know that some of us work full-time jobs, hard labor. You need to make sure at the very minimum you're getting 7 hours of quality sleep, okay? This is so important, not just for seeing progress in the gym and building the physique. I'm talking stress levels, brain fog, like everything, not just building the physique. Sleep involves everything. If you get shitty sleep, the whole next day or the whole day that you got the shitty sleep beforehand, you will feel like shit for the entire day. You're not going to be motivated to do anything. You're not going to want to go to the gym. You're not going to want to do anything at all, okay? So you need to make sure that you are prioritizing this. It's very fucking important, okay? Like, I hope you guys know that a big cause of deaths, no matter what age it is, and all these chronic diseases on the commercials that you see that people have to take the medicine and it's 1,000 side effects, okay, is because they're getting barely any sleep. You need to prioritize that shit, okay? One or a couple ways to make sure you're getting a lot better sleep is, one, taking magnesium about an hour before bed, one of the best vitamins you can take to improve sleep levels, okay? Number 2 is limiting screen time and really bright, flashy lights in your face an hour or 2 before bed, like having your phone on maximum brightness, being in front of a computer like this, in front of a TV. You want to be in dim lighting before bed, an hour or 2 before bed. Not having a really big meal or eating at all about an hour or 2 before bed. It's not necessarily bad to eat right before bed, and it's not going to make you fat or anything like that, which I'll go over in the diet section. But what happens is your body's going to be more focused on digesting all the food rather than going into quality sleep and sleep mode, to make it simple for you guys. So, and then on top of sleep, as I was talking about earlier with the volume and your structure routine, is rest days. Your body literally needs, and your muscles need, 24 to 48 hours to repair, recover, right? If you're going to the gym every single day, you're literally giving your body no time to recover and rest. And you're going to get plateaued. You're going to get unmotivated when you get plateaued, and then you're going to stop going to the gym completely. And that's what we don't want for you, okay? Next thing is nutrition. Nutrients are everything. Food is everything. And you cannot outwork a bad diet. If you are not giving your body and your muscles the proper food, the whole foods, nutrients, supplements, vitamins it needs to actually recover and grow, you're simply not going to see progress and you're going to feel like shit, okay? And I'm going to go over that again. I have a whole diet section that we're really going to do a deep dive into because it's very fucking important. Next is hydration and electrolytes, okay? I work out in the mornings. If you're someone who works out right when you wake up or just in general, when you first wake up, that is when your body's in the most dehydrated state, okay? You need to make sure that if you don't have electrolytes, you're having a glass or two of water with some salt in it. This is what's actually going to hydrate you. Water alone does not hydrate you. You need sodium in every single one of your meals, a little sprinkle of salt. Or if you have electrolytes, take that when you first wake up and before your workout, so that way you're properly hydrated throughout the day, okay? And then active recovery, on your rest days, you can go do your stretching, work on mobility, right? Just going on walks every day, making sure you're getting 10,000 steps in every day, which is separate from cardio, which I'll get into too. And then stress management. If your cortisol levels are too high, which is the hormone that involves stress, if you're overly stressed out all the time, it literally blocks you from seeing progress, from burning fat. It literally blocks you. So I'm gonna give y'all some advice. So for me personally, like, I'm a really bad overthinker. I've gotten a lot better with it over the years, but it still comes and goes, right? It never goes away for us overthinkers. But with the overthinking, I start to think about things in the future. How can I work on this? What do I need to, like, everything all at once? And it always happens when I first wake up. And before, it would ruin my entire day. My stress would be too high to do anything. And then I would be unmotivated to do anything, okay? One really big thing that I can give you guys that's been helping me a lot with it. Right when you wake up, say everything that you're grateful for and everything that you have around you, okay? Yes, life comes and goes. We all go through hardships. Bad things come every now and then. But if you can wake up every day and say, hey, I have a roof over my head. I have a place to live, okay? I'm able to breathe clean air. I'm able to breathe in general. I'm able to walk. I'm able to hit the gym, okay? I have food and water. I have a way of transportation. Like, there's so many things that we all look over every single day that millions of unfortunate people would die to have, okay? If you can wake up every single day and talk to God, if that's what you believe in, and just really be grateful for everything that you have in the moment, it will reduce your stress levels by so much. I'm telling you. And another thing too is, whenever you are going through something, I always like to think of it like this in two ways, okay? First way is, if I can control it, whatever the situation is, if I can control it, let's start taking the little steps necessary to change it and make it better, okay? On the other hand, if I can't control it, I gotta let it be. There's literally nothing I can do. So there's 0 point in stressing over it. It's not gonna fix anything, okay? And this is what I was talking about earlier too with the whole recovery thing, right? You are not on steroids, okay? Hopefully not. People that have top 1% genetics and are also taking stuff, tests, HGH, Anadrol, whatever it may be, steroids, they recover 20 times better than you ever will. Okay, you need to understand that. That's why, like, I like bodybuilders and I appreciate y'all and I really like y'all's work ethic. I have nothing against you guys, but you all, as a regular person, especially as a natural, you can't listen to bodybuilders giving you advice, whether it's on social media, whatever. I don't care how they look. They recover 20 times better than you. All the exercises that they're doing, all the volume that they're doing, whatever they're eating, whatever, because they can still get amazing progress. You have to understand that, okay? You are not on steroids. So, not all my clients, but some of my top clients right here, we got Dustin, we got Dwell, we got Jordan, Quincy, myself. All these people are not on steroids, okay? They all only work out anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week at most. Most of them, it's honestly 3 to 4 days, okay? They prioritize whole foods. They stick to their diets. They're making sure they're doing cardio every single day. They're getting their steps in, and that's all you can do, okay? You cannot do a bunch of fucking exercises. You can't do, stupid, complicated exercises that are not the basics that will actually take you far. You can't do all this extra stuff because you cannot recover like bodybuilders. You cannot recover like people who are on steroids. They have it 20 times easier than we ever will, okay? So that's why a lower volume approach, sticking to a clean diet, doing all this stuff, and making sure your recovery is on point with hydration, sleep, all this stuff is very, very important, okay? Now, coming up here, I want to get into cardio is necessary and why it's a cheat code, okay? Now, with all these bullet points, I'm just going to go over everything right here, but I've been getting into running, as y'all been seeing like all my stories and everything as of recently. This is a crazy run I did a couple weeks ago, almost 12 miles. And then just picture of me here at the run club flexing after a run with the dopamine spike. Another picture of me during one of my runs. But cardio is necessary, okay? Cardio is the workouts for your heart. It's keeping your heart healthy, okay? I don't care if you're bulking. I don't care if you're cutting, which if you are cutting, you should be doing cardio. You need to be doing cardio all the time. And why is it a cheat code, okay? If you are cutting down, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Point blank, okay? Or just focusing on eating a lot cleaner whole foods, right? But if you're in a calorie deficit, which I am right now, I'm eating 2,600 calories a day, okay? With this run right here on the left, I burnt 1,400 additional calories. So that means if I add that on top of the 2,600 calorie deficit that I normally eat, and obviously I don't run fucking 12 miles every day, but if I add the 1,400 on top of the 2,600, that means I can eat 4,000 calories worth of food, clean food, whole foods, and still be in a deficit. This is a fucking cheat code. This is one of the main reasons why I have been getting in the best shape of my life and actually been able to stick to my diet and my cut, because I go running every single day. So it allows me to have more calories, to eat more. And because I'm eating more, not only am I getting stronger, am I getting better progress in the gym, but I'm also losing fat at the same time. It's a cheat code. It really is. And when it comes to cardio, you can choose your form of cardio, okay? I really like running. Again, I got into it a couple months ago. I'm starting to get a lot better at it now. But cardio just involves being in a higher heart rate, okay? You can do basketball, Stairmaster if you're crazy, running outside, running on the treadmill. You can do cycling, bicycling, whatever you enjoy doing. Do that as your form of cardio. It's really that simple. And again, it's a cheat code. You can eat more and still burn off fat. And on top of that, you just feel a lot lighter. You feel really good, especially for my past athletes that really haven't trained like an athlete since high school or college days. Getting into running and doing heavy cardio again on top of lifting weights and getting stronger is like the best fucking combination, okay? So coming down here too with the 10,000 steps in every day, this is not actual cardio, getting steps in every day. This is just another way of doing low impact cardio. It allows you to, burn a lot more calories throughout the day, another couple hundred than you normally would, okay? Especially if you're eating, going out for a walk right after you eat really helps with digestion too, which is good. And it's just more movement in general. You're being more active, okay? Coming down here, this is just a couple common things that people believe. Cardio kills gains, which I thought too. I would do Stairmaster every now and then, like my past couple years of my lifting journey or whatever, but it's like I never really prioritized it. I would do it like once a week, okay? If you want to get into cardio, whatever it may be, I recommend doing it anywhere from 2 to 4 times a week and then up it from there, okay? When I first started my running journey, I was literally going like every couple days because my body was still getting used to it. I was getting super sore. But now I'm into it. I try to do 5 miles minimum every single day. I never get sore anymore, and that's because I'm able to eat a lot more and recover a lot better, okay? But cardio kills gains. Cardio does not kill gains, okay? The people that you hear saying this and the people that you see that start doing a bunch of cardio, they start getting into running and they get super skinny, is because they weren't eating in the first place. Okay? If you're barely having food in the first place, especially if you're not eating clean in the first place, you're barely having any calories throughout the day. And then when you start doing cardio on top of that or getting into running, you're putting yourself in a deeper and deeper deficit, which means you're barely eating. You damn near might be in a negative fucking calories. So of course you're going to lose weight very, very fast. But again, if you're doing cardio and you're in your diet in general, you need to make sure you're eating clean whole foods. You're getting your protein in every day. You're sticking to hydration, sleep, all that, okay? Because this is something I messed up on when I first started too. Like, again, did I get progress? Yes, because of newbie games, but like, I wasn't sleeping that good every single night. I was staying up late playing fucking GTA 5 with the boys. And, I created good memories, but I still wasn't making that much progress. Again, I wasn't doing the right exercises. I was doing too much volume. All this stuff. I was barely doing any cardio. My recovery was shit. I messed up on everything, okay? So that's why I'm here teaching y'all, so that way you don't have to go through the same shit that I did and you can get the best progress, okay? Now, going into the main motherfucking thing. Diet. Is that an ice cream truck? Sorry. I can't even put into words how much this shit matters. Diet is everything. This is not just about getting better progress with your physique in the gym. Your gut is literally your brain, or your second brain, as a lot of people call it, okay? What you put in your body has a direct correlation of how you think, how you perceive things, how you act, your emotions, how you look, your skin, everything. If you're eating a bunch of fucking processed foods, hot Cheetos, candy all the time, chances are you're either overweight, you have a bunch of acne all over your body from the inflammation and processed foods, you're bloated all the time because your gut can't process anything and you're just feeding it bullshit, okay? Food is everything, okay? I've done like 2 or 3 bad dirty bulks in the past couple years of me lifting, only because when I first started, again, I was 150 pounds and I just looked up to people who are already like 190, 200 pounds lean, okay? But what I thought is I can just eat a bunch of fucking food, and because I was working out, lifting weights, that it would be all muscle. Yeah, no, I got humbled quick. This was my second dirty bulk on the left right here. I mean, look at my face, bro. I look like fucking CeeLo Green. Light-skinned Rick Ross, okay? A depressed Rod Wave. Like, this is not acceptable. And again, dirty bulking is not going to speed up the process. You eating a bunch of food, trying to gain weight fast, does not speed up anything. The actual process of muscle growth is very fucking slow. That's why you want to cut down, get in really good shape, get the six-pack, and then from there, if you want to gain weight and get bigger, you eat just a little bit more, because if you start eating a bunch of food, especially too fast or too soon, all you're doing is just adding on a bunch of unnecessary fat that you're gonna have to cut off later down the road. It's stupid, and it makes you unhealthy, and then it fucks with your insulin and your hormones and your acne and your skin and the way you feel. Do not dirty bulk. It does not help at all. Take things slow. You need to be fucking patient. And on the picture on the right was my first dirty bulk, and yeah, it was bad. It was to the point where I was eating so bad and my hormones were so unbalanced, and I wasn't sleeping good or anything. I was doing too much volume. Everything wrong you can think of. It was getting to the point where if you literally look at my nipples, no homo, I was getting gyno. Like, it was to the point where people thought I was taking shit because I was getting gyno. And gyno's when your nipples get like really puffy and you get the man boobs, because my estrogen levels were so high and my test was so low. So yeah, food is everything. Now I'm gonna go into the benefits of eating clean whole foods, because again, it's not just with your physique, it's everything, okay? So when you start eating clean whole foods, you get better nutrient density. This means that in eating clean whole foods, you're gonna get a lot more nutrients in what you're eating, and it's gonna keep you more full, and it's gonna make you feel a lot better. So you're gonna actually want to be able to stick to this new diet because of how fucking good you feel. Like, I feel like fucking Superman all the time. And I know I post on my stories of me going out, drinking, having my cheat meals, which again, I like to enjoy life. There's a perfect balance between the two if you know how to do it right, but I'm gonna get into that in a little bit, right? But anytime I have something like really bad processed sugary, I feel like shit for the rest of the day. I can't do shit. I can't work out. Nothing. It ruins my entire mood. And I promise you, if you really eat clean and dial in on your diet for a month, and then you try eating something bad after that, you're gonna be like, holy shit, there's no way I went this many months, this many years feeling like that. And it holds back everything. Business, success, relationships, everything you can think of. Food is one of the main problems because of that, because you're eating so fucking bad, okay? Supports muscle growth and recovery. Obviously, again, you cannot out-train a bad diet. It does not work like that. Your body and your muscles need the proper nutrients and foods to actually, recover better and grow, okay? Stable energy levels, as I just said. When you start eating cleaner in general, especially when you have a good, healthy carbs, not a bunch of sugar like rice, potatoes, oats, fruits, and veggies, you'll feel a lot better, okay? Improved digestion and gut health. Your gut is your second brain. Whatever you're putting in your stomach is how you're going to feel, okay? If you're eating fucking candy and bullshit processed foods all the time, no wonder you're sleeping fucking 14 hours a day. You're going to feel like shit, okay? Reduced inflammation. Your acne is going to go down. You're going to be a lot less inflamed, feel a lot better, okay? Like in this picture up here, you guys can't really tell too much, but my acne was horrible during this time, and in this dirty bulk too. Like, my skin has gotten a lot better. I still have the scarring from that time, obviously learn my lesson, but it was bad, okay? Better blood sugar control, less crashes, okay? I don't know if you ever noticed this, but if you go eat something bad that's really high in sugar especially, you'll get an energy spike, you'll get the sugar rush is what they call it, and then all of a sudden, that's what that is. It's a sugar spike, okay? When you eat something bad, especially really high in sugar, you get that super high energy, and then it just crashes, and that's the worst feeling, okay? Next, Easier fat loss. Obviously, if you're eating clean whole foods, your body's just gonna slim down like crazy because you're eating a lot healthier now and eating less in general. And again, when you eat cleaner too, it's filling foods, okay? It's very nutrient dense. One thing that you guys have to understand is processed foods were literally made with certain chemicals inside of them. They were literally processed and made for you to get even more hungry after eating them, okay? Fucking crazy. Genetically modified food before GTA 6 is crazy, okay? Next, clear skin, healthier appearance, and with having clear skin, no acne, and looking a lot better, and having a good physique, and having a six-pack, that improves your mental state. Stress goes down. You feel a lot more confident about yourself. You'll actually want to go outside. Anxiety goes away. Depression goes away. Like, I hope you guys know, like, all of these diseases and these mental issues, 99% of it comes from what you're eating. If you can clean up your diet, I promise you, if you've always struggled with depression and bad mental state, which I have, 90% of it will go away when you start eating cleaner. It's crazy. It's crazy, okay? And I don't want the government coming from me, but a lot of these cancers and really advanced diseases can also be cured just by fucking eating better. It's insane, okay? You wonder why Whole Foods and expensive foods is more expensive at the grocery store. Duh. All right, don't come for me, government. Anyways, better sleep and mood. You feel a lot better, so that way your stress goes down. You're not taking your anger out on other people anymore. You feel a lot more confident by yourself, a lot better by yourself, okay? Again, food is not just about the gym. It's about everything. Feeling better, your mental state. It makes you better financially at your workplace. Everything you can think of. This will make you better, okay? Supports long-term health. You do not look. One of my biggest fears is being that dad when I get older with my kids. Your kids should look up to you. They should see you as a superhero, okay? If you're overweight as a dad, that's a fucking problem. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's one of my biggest fears. I want my kids to look up to me and see me as fucking Superman, a superhero physique, okay? And you know, just long term too, like, especially if you're really overweight or you just feel like shit all the time because of what you're eating and you're trying to go out and play with your kids or have a good time somewhere, you're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna be that fucking dad at the parties that when they go to throw the football, you tear your hamstring because you're completely out of shape. Don't be like that. That's like one of my worst fears. Okay, next. And then finally, the most important is the whole identity shift, okay? When you start eating cleaner and prioritizing whole foods, everything changes. Stress goes away. You feel confident. Your mental state is better. Anxiety goes away. Depression goes away. You feel so much more confident about yourself. You're taking your shirts off at the beach now. You feel like that motherfucker. I can't cuss. You feel like that guy. That's why I'm cussing, because I'm so passionate about this, because I've seen the change for myself, okay? I know I've had my dirty bulk stage and I've had my skinny stage, right? But people in life treat you different when you're in shape. When I go out for my runs, every single person that I'm passing, and I look at the cars too, they're looking at me like I'm a fucking superhero, bro. People respect you more. People actually want to talk to you. People look at you in a good way. Your whole life changes when you get in shape. It's fucking crazy, bro. And you know, you shouldn't be only doing it for girls, but you start to get the girl, like, everything changes. You become the superhero of your own story. Everything changes. Like, it is crazy. And you know, over here on the right, some downsides of eating processed and junk foods, which I kind of went over too. Empty calories, it's super high in sugar. And again, the term empty calories comes from, you know, you eating the processed foods, and then because it's genetically modified, chemically modified, whatever, to make you hungry after you're eating it, you're just going to keep eating more and more and more. So it's just empty calories. Literally has no nutrients in it. Nothing that's going to benefit you, okay? The energy crashes, the harder fat loss, increased cravings and binge tendencies. This is something I struggled with for a long time. I'm a serial binge eater and stress eater, and it came from food. And I know it's kind of, you know, ironic that the binge eating came from food and whatever, but anytime I wouldn't stick to my diet or I would eat something bad, it would make me feel like shit about myself. And because I started getting stressed out, I would stress eat. So it was a never ending cycle. And I'm so glad I've been able to get over it just by eating cleaner and having, you know, a lot more mental clarity with my head. It's fucking crazy what good food does to you, for your soul too. Okay, poor digestion, you're going to be bloated all the time, feel like shit. Inflammation is going to cause a lot of acne, a lot of joint pain too. Okay, weaker recovery. Again, you cannot outtrain a bad diet. You simply will not get progress. Hormone disruption, you're going to have really high estrogen, really low tests, feel like fucking shit all the time, have no drive to do anything, whether it's work, working on the business, or going to the gym, being active. You're going to have no drive for anything, okay? very high risk of chronic diseases, especially later down the road, heart attacks, all these, life-ending things, simply because you can't fucking eat correctly. Okay, mental fog and mood swings and identity conflict. Okay, now the one thing that I want you guys to realize is food is fuel. Okay, when you start eating cleaner, again, you're gonna have a lot more higher energy to actually be able to do things again, whether it's going to the gym, doing what you need to do every single day, being a better father, being a better husband, okay? Being better at work, working on that business and actually having the motivation to strive towards it and make it better, okay? Food is fuel. You need to think of it in the same way as, a You need to think of it in the same way as a supercar, a really nice car from my car guys. My dream car is a Nissan GTR loaded up like this, so that's why I put it here. But you need to think of food as fuel, as putting gas into a supercar, not a regular car, because that's going to refer to, the processed foods, okay? You need to put good quality food inside of you in order to get fuel, okay? That's how I want you to think about it. And going over here, in terms of fuel, yes, eating cleaner will give you a lot more energy, but real high energy comes from clean carbs. Carbs are not bad for you, okay? Carbs is the main nutrient that's actually going to give you energy. It's going to get you stronger. It's going to just allow you to have fuel all throughout the day, okay? If you're eating clean and you're in a diet where you're not having barely any carbs, like, yeah, you might be eating cleaner, feeling a lot better, losing the weight, but your energy levels are going to be pretty low because you're not having any type of carbs, okay? So carbs break down into glucose, which is what your muscles use for energy during your workouts, okay? You get a performance boost. It aids in recovery. Without carbs, it makes it a lot harder to recover. Muscle prevention supports your hormones, reduces fatigue, improves your mood, okay? One of the main things that you need to do with your diet is structure most of your carbs throughout the day, pre-workout and post-workout, okay? This is beneficial because for your pre-workout meal, when you have a good amount of carbs and you're hydrated on top of that with sodium or electrolytes, this is the ultimate triple threat combination in order to have super high energy during your lifts, to actually be able to push hard, to hit PRs every single time you're in the gym. This is what's going to give you that energy, okay? If you're not having any type of high carb pre-workout meal, whether it's oats, fruits, rice, potatoes, right? You're not going to have that much energy for the gym, and then you're going to feel like shit and then be unmotivated to go, and then you're not going to be able to get stronger too, okay? Carbs are not bad for you. And then post-workout, so that way you can replenish all the glycogen and energy that you burn during the workout too, okay? Coming up here, as far as protein sources go, one thing that you need to realize is you need to stick to clean whole foods for your protein sources. Protein powder is not a fucking protein source. The quality of the protein matters so much more than you guys think, okay? So for a list right here, we have chicken breast, turkey breast, lean beef, eggs, fish, shellfish, pork, lamb, game meats, Greek yogurt, which is one of my favorites that you guys see me posting about all the time, cottage cheese. There's plant-based, proteins too as well, but the main thing is lean meats. The actual quality matters so much more than you think, okay? And speaking of quality and nutrients and macronutrients, whatever too, one thing that I forgot to put on here is also vitamins. You guys need to make sure that you're having vitamins every single morning too. Vitamin C, D3, zinc, magnesium before bed, B12, right? We are all different genetically, whatever. We all have certain things that we are specifically deficient in. So my best advice, if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty of things, the wire of things, whatever, go get your blood work done and actually see what you're deficient in, and then supplement from there. Figure out what vitamins you need from there, because the vitamins are the micronutrients and just everything that goes on inside of your body, okay? I'm sure you guys heard of, people saying like, oh, that person has a perfect physique, but on the inside, there's something wrong. Like, this is the case for a lot of people. Like, someone might look in shape, ripped, healthy, but they're not actually healthy on the inside. And that's what you need to pay attention to, okay? And that's where vitamins and the minerals and the micronutrients come into play, right? For organ health, liver health, kidney, eyesight, brain fog, stress management, sleep, skin, all the stuff that goes on inside of our bodies that we don't pay attention to is what vitamins are for, and you should be taking them every single morning. Now, involving supplements, really the only supplement you need, so to say, is creatine. 10 grams a day is fine. It's not dangerous in any type of form. It's the best supplement that you can take and the most safest that you can take for long-term muscle growth. It helps convert more ATP energy. Again, long-term muscle growth gets you stronger over time, pulls more water into your muscles. It's perfectly safe and one of the best supplements you can take. Creatine monohydrate, 10 grams a day, okay? Any other supplements you do not fucking need. It's just bullshit marketing from supplement brands. Literally the only supplement you need is creatine, okay? No protein powder. Get your protein from quality food sources. This makes the biggest difference. So, with everything being said, with the main pillars and just everything that, you know, I messed up on and how you're going to build your dream physique and really get the best progress, again, inside the gym, make sure you have a structured routine. You're having a low volume approach. I only do 8 to 10 sets per week per muscle group. Two sets per exercise with one warm-up set. You know, keep the rep scheme from 6 to 8 so that way you can recover better. Learn how to train hard and push yourself hard. Focus on progressive overload every single week, focusing on, you know, getting 1 or 2 more reps every week, increasing the weight over time, okay? Then coming over here with cardio, whether it's running, basketball, football, cycling, biking, whatever it may be, Stairmaster, make sure you're doing it 2 to 4 times a week. If you really want to get into it, especially with running, like how I'm doing right now, work your way up, start doing it every single day. It's going to help with burning a lot more calories, eating more, but losing fat at the same time, okay? Make sure you're getting your 10,000 steps in every day. Coming down here with recovery, make sure you're getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep every single night. You're prioritizing your rest days. You're stretching on your rest days or every single night, which is what I do. I have a little stretching routine too. You're staying hydrated throughout the day with plenty of water, electrolytes, and a little bit of sprinkle of salt and sodium in every meal. Active recovery, again, 10,000 steps in every day. You know, you're minimizing your stress levels. Again, you're not on fucking steroids. You can't recover like them, okay? And then coming over here for your diet, make sure you're eating clean. You're sticking to whole foods and just prioritizing good, clean foods, good quality sources of protein. You're still having carbs, so that way you have high energy during your workouts and you can focus on putting on muscle. And this is really the 4 main pillars. But at the end of it, consistency above all, okay? The biggest factor is showing up every single fucking day, okay? Motivation comes and goes, and you might feel super motivated after watching this, which I appreciate, but I gotta be real with y'all. Motivation comes and goes. There's gonna be days where you have really high highs, and there's gonna be days where you have really low lows, but you need to show up every single fucking day. Follow the plan and not your mood. It's one of the biggest things I go by. Follow the plan, not your mood. And you'll just feel I'm telling y'all right now, like the days where you don't want to go to the gym, the days where you don't want to stick to that diet, when you actually end up sticking to it, it gives you this fucking energy boost because you still did that shit. And then you feel confident by yourself, because confidence does not come from how you look. It comes from, you know, keeping the promises that you told yourself that you were going to do today or every single day. So just remember to show up for yourself, stay fucking consistent. And over time, as you stack these small wins every single day, every day, you will get the physique and the mindset and the discipline that you want, and just overall create a lot better habits for yourself, okay? If you guys have any questions about anything, I'm not Hollywood. Please DM me at any time. If you're interested in coaching, again, I have some of my clients right here. Dustin, amazing body recomp. Dwell, who's down 20 pounds now. Quincy, who lost damn near 50 pounds while still going out and enjoying life. Me, obviously, again. Jordan right here, almost 50 pounds down. And then my guy JP on the bottom left, who's down over 100 pounds. If you guys are interested in coaching, DM me on Instagram with the keyword train, or just DM me in general. We can talk, figure out what you need help with, your goals, all that, or we can book a call together. And again, consistency above all. Keep showing up for yourself. And again, if you guys need help, just DM me at any time. Peace.